That's a lot of butter. Ooh,
You know what?
my
You
build.
know what? You know what? I'll put as much butter as I want to.
I don't know what.
In my dish.
Who is that?
Who is who?
What? Wait a minute. This reminds me of that funny thing.
What thing?
You know, the really funny thing that the teacher showed us. Where it was like, Mrs. What? And Mrs. Who and stuff.
Oh, yeah, and it's just
Dying of
cackling.
laughter, and you were poking me and screaming. You were dying beside me, poking me and pointing at in front of us, going, ha 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 ha.
He was behind us, and I kept
Oh, he was
on
behind. That's right. He was behind us.
I kept egging him on, and I was like, "Yeah, that was really good. That was really good, wasn't it?" He likes to talk to me about.
To be fair, it was really good.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. What are you saying? Yeah, for?
I'm just kidding. And then he likes to talk to me about the movie Whiplash, but he's even admitted that he's never seen it before.
Like, it's kind of getting annoying at this point. It's really embarrassing almost. He runs up to me like every day. Well, beforehand, thank God, not anymore. If he came over to my house and started screaming Whiplash, like he screams the worst quotes too. Like he'll run up and just start. He'll scream. All right, count from 10. Or no, not count from 10. He runs up and he screams, "Start counting!" And I'm like, Jesus Christ, please, man. And I'm like, haha, you really like it? Like I try and like I don't indulge him. I kind of like try and I don't know. I just try not to do anything. I go, ha, you really like that movie, huh? And I just go, hey, Garret really likes that movie, and he goes, Garret, yeah, him, and I'll point to you. And then at that point, usually you'll see me pointing to you, and you'll just have this weird like half smirk on your face. And he turns and looks at you, and then you look at him, and you know what's going on.
The one time I nearly choked on my food, because he went up to my friend Gavin, he was like, wouldn't it be cool if you drummed that fast? Wouldn't it be cool? Do you drum? Do you play the drums? Wouldn't it be so cool if you drummed that fast? What would happen fast? Would it hurt? And I just was like, choking on my food, because it was so funny. He kept asking so many questions by the millisecond, and I couldn't handle it.
I was going to put it into a video, but I couldn't find a place for it. Alex told us a story that he's told before one time about like one of his first encounters with when he didn't even know who he was. Ran up to him, just like hugged him from the front, and then whispered in his ear, "Are you gonna tell the teacher?" And Gil said he was terrified because this hulking man just he has his arms around him, and he's just going, "Are you gonna tell the teacher, huh? Are you gonna scream?"
That's so
And I
good.
thought it was like the most funny story. It's just so good.
It's so nonsensical. It's so great.
He's a being of pure chaos.
What would happen if you drum that fast? What do you think? Do you think it would hurt? Do you drum?
Do you like my
drum?
build?
Now that he knows that I have watched the movie Whiplash and that I enjoy it, that's the only
Have
thing
you?
he talks about. I've seen it once before.
Oh. Well, it's my favorite movie, but I'm not going to tell him that. You probably will next chance you get, though.
Oh, yeah. I probably should.
Of course, I can just rebuttal with, no, I haven't watched the movie yet.
Yeah, but
I think Garret was lying to you. And then he'll be like, why'd you lie to me? Or something like that. Something freaking just so... is just a being.
the times that you just call him, like, you call me when he's talking to me.
Yeah. It was hilarious. I found that hilarious. Let's talk about that right now. On the podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is very podcast like.
Let's talk about when so I was sitting down and he came over and I believe no, he was at your table and I called you and I was like, Garret, give him the phone. Say it's for him.
yeah.
And he picks it up and he's like, hello? And I put on a voice and start going, Whiplash, video games, and stuff like that, like Fortnite funny. And he's like, yeah, is this Cole or something like that? And I'm like, no. And he comes over and I'm on the phone and I put it like under my leg. I put it under my leg, and he's like, was that you, Cole? And I'm like, no. I don't even have my phone. I hold up my hands and he's like, oh, okay. And then I hear him go over to you and I pick up the phone, put it to my ear, and I hear, it wasn't him. It's just a gold mine. A never-ending gold mine.
So good. Cause now he just starts consistently approaching our tables. It's like a regular thing now, more than it already was.
Scheduled. I usually just tell him to go over there and pester my brother, but he never does it. You know, a lot of the time,
a lot of times, pesters me.
Yeah, a lot of times, what I say is like, it's usually like aimed at Gonzalo. Just because Gonzalo's he's so fun just to screw with. And he absolutely hates every time I tell him to do something to him. Like
didn't you like break over and then just walk away? Like,
yeah, I did. But I'll get into that after. Basically, one of the best things I do on occasion, but he never ever does it. I always go, have you felt how soft Gonzalo's hair is? You should feel it. He doesn't mind. And then Gonzalo stares at me with like this look of like pleading, also mixed in with like absolute anger. Like he's gonna kill me after, but he's pleading for me to stop. He never does it though. He never feels Gonzalo's hair.
One day.
Brayden and Gonzalo always get so mad at me whenever whenever he comes over. Just when he comes over. Like, it's not even my fault. Like, I'll see him from across the way, and I'll be looking at him to make sure that he doesn't look over here. Because every time he looks over there, he comes over. Every single time, without fail. And so, like, one time, I'm just staring over, and he looks me dead in the eyes, and he's like, I see him start barreling towards us. And I'm like, oh, God. Sprint. And then Brayden's looking at me in the eyes like, what is wrong with you? Why would you do this? And I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. He's psychotic. He has like an affinity for us for some reason.
He likes to tell me to start counting. And then he always asks me if I was like, what is it? Like, if I was like ahead or behind.
Yes. Are you rushing or are you dragging?
Yeah, he asks me that all the time.
And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. Most of the time, I've gotten really sick of it. So most of the time, I just go, wow, you really like that movie, huh? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that's good. And I just wait for him to leave.
At least to my knowledge.
Oh man. Like,
so fun.
He's a handful to deal with, I gotta say.
Some really golden moments, though.
He's an anomaly. I just don't understand him. I don't think he's a being made to be understood.
The one time the school had like the $1 crush things during Valentine's. I should have anonymous.
Yeah, I really wanted to order a bunch for Gil.
From.
You can write whatever you want, right?
I think so. If that rolls around next year, then we got something. Like this year, actually. Wait.
What? No, it was
next
this year. It's already passed.
Next year. Yeah.
Besides, school's not starting up. Oh.
Oh, that'd be so genius. Just.
Yeah, I really wanted to do that. Just bring in like $20 or something.
20 bucks? And buy them all from Gil.
I want to write in like a notes that they have to like disperse them between classes or something, but I don't know. I don't think they'd be able to do that. I think they just hand them out all at once. Imagine carrying 20. What are they? Suckers?
No, they were pops.
Pops? Oh yeah.
They were crushes.
Jesus, 20 crush cans. It was limited to like 5 or something, right?
It had to have been limited.
Yeah, because someone could have come in with like $100.
Yeah, just buy a bunch of pops.
They had like a year-long supply of crush. Actually, how much is like a case of? No, it's much.
Oh, you know what we should do? We should send one to from Gil, but then put his name as Gilly Willy.
Do they have to read it out when they bring it to you?
No, they just say who it's going to.
That would have been just incredible.
From Gilly Willy. Say that to an entire MSIP.
I really love that stuff. Gil gets embarrassed so quickly. You know, I'm the mid-ground, I would think.
Yeah, I can do...
Between you and Gil, I'm the mid-ground for that. And you are just the worst.
Xander's way up there, too.
No, Xander is around the same as Gil.
Really?
Yeah.
One time I was, like, yelling at him at the water park.
Xander gets embarrassed by that stuff real quick. Like, I'll be doing something stupid and he'll be like, God, you're so retarded.
Oh, the duck at the midway at the bowling alley.
Yeah, that's where I draw the line. That kind of stuff, where you're just like completely interfering with someone's
next to these people eating dinner.
Yeah, and you're looking them dead in the eye too. I was stuck there. I was stuck there because I was playing the game, and you've got me stuck here next to you.
This little creeper thing, and I just yell it to a bunch of strangers.
Yeah.
And I'm like hopping up and down with like.
Yes. You're like bouncing the duck around, and you're like. Doo, 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 doo. I like to embarrass Gil though. Gil's the best to embarrass. You should do that to Gil more.
Okay.
Because Gilmore. But I was on the bus to an art museum for a trip. We weren't on the trip for the art museum, man. You know, we were in Chinatown, so we were there to get some sweet manga.
What?
We were in Chinatown.
Yeah.
So we were there to get some manga, dude.
Okay.
We weren't there for no trip. We were there for the manga. That's what I'm saying.
As one does.
Yeah, as one does. However, on the bus there, you know, I suddenly got like a ton of courage just to screw with him. So we were in the back of the bus on the Switch, and I was just screaming. Like I was like whenever he won a game, I would just scream in rage, and I would be like, "You can't do that, man! Mom said it's my turn to win." And he's like, "Cole, shut up." And I would turn up the volume like all the way on our game. So it's like Mario going, "Wahoo!"
I remember the time.
He's like, "Turn it down."
It was the day of the talent show, the infamous talent show.
Yeah.
And there's the Switch or the Smash tournament in the library or something. And then Xander just disconnects everything.
Yeah, Xander has a penchant for doing that stuff. He really likes to just screw with those
very
people.
Nonchalantly.
He's just the best for that, cause he's a screamer. He's one of those that's like who did that? I hate it with all of my guts. All of my guts. My guts.
Oh yeah, also at the bowling alley, right? That was just like that one girl who like bumped into me when I was about to bowl, and I just like waved to her. I was just like, oh hi.
Yeah, yeah. I looked you dead in the eye. She had her mother next to her, and I was like, Garret, don't do that.
Hey,
Like they'll think
her.
you're like you're doing something or just being real shady. They'll think you're doing something.
Yeah, I was just waving to a bunch of just random.
Yeah, you waved to the girl's mom. Right after. And I was like,
fun.
Garret, don't do that.
That was a fun time.
I hate that
Cannot
stuff with the every fiber of my being. I hate that. Just doing that garbage.
The one time, when my next birthday rolls around, we just go back there. I'm gonna win another creeper, do the same thing again. This section, just playing with this creeper duck. It was so hard not to laugh as I stared this family dead in the eye as I played with the creeper right on the wheel
right
of
when they're
fortune
trying to like eat their
arcade machine.
food.
Da, 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 la, 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 la.
It's just disturbing,
And
really.
I'm just swimming it around on the counter.
Yeah, I really didn't like it. I hated it, really. I didn't want to be
moments. It's fun.
It was not fun for me.
I
If
know,
Gil was there,
that's why
he'd be
it's fun.
screaming in terror. He would be running away, like I was running away.
You weren't running, but you were like nonchalantly walking away.
Well, of course. What else am I to do? Just sit there and just let you make a fool of yourself in front of me? I hate that stuff so much.
Well, hey, if you think about it, it's me making the fool of myself for the sake
Yes,
of
but I
comedy.
have to be there, and you're associated with me. Even being associated with you sucks when you do that.
Gotta get into like I love situations like that where you're just strewn about into this public area, and you know you're never gonna see those people again, like
Yeah.
ever.
At the art museum, it was the same thing. I think I've told you before, but there were some fun moments at the art museum because obviously we had to go inside the art museum for like a couple hours or something before we were able to just run free for like a couple more hours and do whatever we wanted, which was awesome. It was the first time I ever experienced something like that, just being able to walk around an entire area so like free and being able to do whatever we want was awesome. But at the art museum, I would look into like directly into the cameras wearing these like I was wearing the shades that were like completely circles but didn't have any any like actual glass parts inside of them.
Mhm.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
And I was wearing those, so they have no like actual what is that called? I keep on forgetting.
I don't know.
What are
Like
those
a
pieces
lens?
called? Yeah, lenses. They have no lenses, and they're just these circle shades, Harry Potter style, with no lenses whatsoever, just rims. And I'm running around the art museum with a sweater on, with my hands inside the pockets, and I look directly into the camera, and I look away like immediately. So I'm just acting real shady in front of the cameras, and then I'll reach towards an art piece, and then just stuff my hands back into my pockets and run. Just looking directly into the camera.
I want to get a shirt that just says, "Don't let me in. I'll eat the paintings" or something like that. Or like, I am an art thief, just on my shirt.
Art Thieves United.
Just something really subtle, like on my hat. So then, and I'll just speak to security guards, see if they notice. The Art Thieves Association.
Don't let me in, I steal. I have a tendency to steal.
I'm legally required to tell you that I have a tendency to steal things.
I have a stealing addiction.
Exactly. I'm a kleptomaniac.
Kleptomaniac? I'm a
Kleptomaniac.
pyromaniac.
Yeah. No way, bud. Hey, bud.
Hey, bud. So how's being Canadian?
Bad.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
I forgot about that.
You gotta get Gil into a public setting so then we could just...
Screw with him?
Yeah, yeah.
That's usually how it works. For I'm gonna have to bleep those names out that I said.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
you know, especially, because I definitely said that I hate his guts. I have a really early video on the channel. It's a GTA video where I just flat out say how much I hate. And I've just one day I woke up like in the dead of night and I was like, oh my god, what if he finds the channel and finds that video and he like tells his mom and I get in trouble or something. And I was like terrified. But
Yeah,
I was like,
there's a
wait a
lot
minute,
of
he's never
panic
gonna
when it
find
comes
my
to something
channel.
like
One day, like an old, he's just gonna find the channel and he'll be like, what?
that. Yeah, he's like 60.
He'll be screaming in terror. I can't believe they said that about me. Why would someone say that? Him and I can't believe it though. Like I knew. I'll have to, get rid of his name too. But I knew him for the longest time, and I always hated him because he's the most annoying person in the world. And when I went to another school and I met, I was like, Jesus Christ, he is literally just like 2.0. I hated him from the start. You know, the reason why I knew he was bad from the start was because I don't know, I was just talking to people in class the first day of school, and we were talking about where we live for some reason, but I was talking to another one of my friends from the school we go to. I'm not going to say what school, obviously. But and I was talking to him, and I was like, we discussed where we lived, obviously, but I was like, where do you live? And he just freaking screams it out in class. And I was like, come on, man. And then obviously we all get in trouble because we're talking, well, the teacher's talking, because we're whispering over here, freaking screaming it so the people on the moon can hear.
Hey, dude, yeah, I live on 123 Road Street. Where do you live? And he's just like, oh yeah, I live on
Yeah, it is
as well.
exactly that. He's like, I live on. I was like, Jesus. Like, could you be a bit more quiet?
Oh, I loved fooling around, specifically in French classes, because like a few years back, me and my friends, we'd always like purposely fall off our chairs in the middle of class. We'd like sneeze so abruptly, and like by the like 7th sneeze, she knew something was up, and we
By the 7th sneeze.
yeah, but like completely different students every time. We'd like make silent, like, well, not silent, but like just loud enough for her to like catch her attention. We'd like bark and like ribbit and like make noises.
Oh my god.
And then so Cole's actually gone right now. He's actually like stealing jewelry from a bunch of people on the street to fuel his like crippling meth addiction. It's sad. Hope he recovers. Hope he gets better. I'm not for stealing jewelry, but
Yeah, what were you saying about me?
huh? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Alright, continue on with what you were saying.
Anyway, I think I've definitely told you the story before, but like the one in French class where it's just making abuse jokes. She got really
Yeah.
mad at me. Yeah.
Yeah, and she got mad at you, and then you told them to your mom or something, and she loved
Yeah.
them. And she was just dying of laughter. After your
Yeah.
teacher was like...
So my French teacher, I was just, that day I just decided to act like just like a really babyish. Like I got coddled my entire life, and like pretty much like my parents were overprotective, and it was like, yeah, my mommy said I had to put like wear a helmet on the slide and stuff like that. Just really ridiculous stuff. And I remember one of them was like, my mom said I had to be at least 25 to play video games. And yeah, but I would say this in like this really annoying voice, you know.
Yeah,
yeah, my mommy said I had to do.
That's
be
exactly
like
how I pictured it.
Yeah.
If
And
I
she
play
got really
video
annoyed.
games, my mom would hit me with a spoon.
And then that slowly evolved to be like, yeah, one time I was playing a video game, I was playing Roblox, and my mom got the power drill, and I was laughing so hard, right? And all my friends were, and she just screamed out in such a rage, in such a huge rage. And she was like, "What would your mom say if she heard those jokes? What would she say?" So I was like, "Okay, I'll take my odds." So I texted my mom, and I was like, "Yeah, by the way, like obviously you don't beat me or anything, but I was telling abuse jokes in class, and my French teacher got really mad." And she was like, "LOL, funny kid." So I was like, "Okay." And then the next day, right?
Yeah.
She was in class, and she asked me a question. I was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I told my mom about those jokes," and she said, "LOL, funny kid." And she did not like that one bit.
she started steaming. You could see it pouring from her head.
Yeah, absolutely.
She screamed in
once
rage.
again started screaming so much, and she pulled me aside. She told me to stay in for recess, right? And she was like, "Yeah, we're gonna call you mom and see if she actually really liked those jokes." But that
so
one
stupid.
lucky day, that one day, my phone was dead. Right? I don't have my mom's phone number memorized, right? My phone was dead, so I couldn't get the number out of my phone. It wasn't in the system anywhere. And then they were like...
She really wanted to, like, really just call your mom?
Yeah. And then, eventually she's like, "Okay, you could just go outside. I'll just ask your teacher for her number." But she didn't have it, right? So eventually, no call was given out, so I pretty much got off scot-free.
But what was gonna happen anyway?
I don't know.
I
She
think it
called
would have
my
been
mom.
luckier if she actually would have called your mom, and then just gotten your mom on the line saying, "Why are you pulling my boy aside? Because he's telling a few jokes." Like, that's kind of ridiculous. That's what my dad would do. If I got pulled aside and my teacher was like, "You can't be telling these jokes." My dad would. That's exactly what my dad would say.
Me and my friend, we would always write on our French assignments. We would try to come up with like really long names that like obviously aren't our names. We'd like to write our name as like the Queef Williams or something like that. Just really long, ridiculous names. That was good. She didn't like that, of course.
The Queef.
Yeah, just like pretty much just ridiculous names that went on for like pages. It like
So
took
just
up
that Key and
like
Peele skit.
pretty much. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other good moments because like I love talking about how like fooling around in French class.
One time, like back in maybe the 3rd grade, I was talking with one of my friends. Like this is like really weird. I don't like how like nosy some teachers are. But I was just in the hallway, and I guess he was just standing in the doorway overhearing me. And I was talking to one of my friends about the music I like, and I was like, "Yeah, I like Cypress Hill." That's when I liked Cypress Hill because my dad listened to it. And then this teacher, he pops out of the doorway, and he's like, "Do your parents know you're listening to that?" And I was just like, "Yeah, my dad listens to it." He was like, he just grumbled and ran away.
He ran?
No, he didn't run away, obviously. He just retreated back inside the classroom. He was like,
Oh,
Actually, maybe he said, well, maybe I should call your parents and find out. Like, come on, man. Like, it's just stupid.
It is.
What do you have against me liking a band?
Yeah, one time in I'm trying to think of another French story, because there's oodles upon oodles. We had this one substitute French teacher, right? We'd
I
always
only
like
had
to
a
screw with
substitute
her.
for like half the year.
we'd really like to screw with her, right? So the one time we'd like switched up our names because the way the class was set up is there were like 6 of my grade, like only 6 people in my grade, and then the rest was just another grade. So it was like a really like weirdly split grade. And yeah, so for some reason the other grade was like on a trip somewhere, so it was only like the 6 of us. So like 6 of us with the substitute French teacher is gonna be like chaos. We started switching our names around, and like I said, like she would read the entire attendance for the entire class because she had to, right? So we would just pick random names. So like one of them I screwed that sentence up. My friend, he's a boy, he picked Samantha.
Yeah.
And there's a Samantha in her class. Pretty fun. She didn't like that. She actually, I called him Samantha, and she's like, "Why are you calling him names?" And I was like, "No, that's like his name. That's his nickname. We call him." But she was like, "Why are you calling him name? That's not his name." And I was like, trying to plead with her.
Like,
I was like, "No, that's the nickname we call him," which it isn't, obviously.
Well, yeah, but like that's kind of weird. I don't like that very much. Like, it's very, very nosy.
It is, yeah. We had
It's like,
a
why are
really
you calling him
nosy
names,
French
huh?
teacher.
That's not his name.
We had a really nosy French teacher, and we would always enjoy, like, researching about him, I guess. So, like, whenever we'd have, like, the computers, we'd always just look up his name, and then just find, like, as much about him as possible. Yeah. You have to, like, bleep this out, of course, because it's a name,
yeah.
but his name was Mug. Which is his actual name. We called it Mulkyology when we researched him, because we found out like his entire full name. We found a poem he wrote on Blogspot.
Oh my god.
About a child on his first day of school. Yeah.
What?
People thought he was
Wait,
really
what was
creepy. I lost completely.
Well,
I think.
but like, what was it about? Do you remember the general gist of it?
Yeah, it was about a child on his first day of school, and everyone was like, they didn't like him, I guess.
Oh,
they
I
were
see.
worried that they wouldn't like him.
I thought you were talking like it was one of his students on the first day of school or something, that he was writing poems about one of his students on the first day of school.
No.
And I was like,
He
Jesus
just
Christ.
Everyone did think he was really creepy, though. The way he would, like, it was insane, like, his facial hair. He would come in one day, like, with, like, a full beard, right? And then the next day he would be completely bald, but the next day he would have, like, a full mustache again. And just like, what? Huh? This seems, like, impossible.
Like an Eric Andre bit.
Exactly. It was screwing with us.
That's like a long con.
Yeah.
For like a bit. Imagine he came in the last day and
we really thought he was really creepy because he was sort of creepy.
Imagine him coming in the last day and revealing to you that like it was like a bunch of him. Like he has a ton of twins, or not twins. That'd be 2. But he has like a ton of doppelgangers that look like him except have different facial hair.
Yeah.
And are all teachers. So he's just been sending in each of these every day as like a long con to see if anyone will notice.
I think I remember his name still. I think his name was Mug. Something like that. Was definitely in there. And of course you have to leave.
I'm allowed to leave in the mark part, right? Like leaving in the first name should be fine, right? I mean, it's a teacher.
Guess,
there's plenty
maybe.
of those, right? Obviously not his last name.
Yeah, because that sticks out like a sore
yeah.
thumb.
But I mean, I don't think Mr. Markey will really know.
I think just to be safe, I guess. Just
Well,
cut it
safe.
out.
I don't think he's gonna find the channel. I don't think he's gonna recognize
Well,
your
that's not what
voice
I'm
or
worried
you.
about. I just don't want somebody like finding him. I guess if it, I don't know.
You want to protect Mr. Mark?
Yeah. And then I had the teacher that we would always like I would always fool around in. Her name was Madame.
Whoa!
No,
The teacher you would always fool around in.
In the class. Her name was Madame. And
Is that her last name?
yeah, that is. So you have to. I don't know her first name. Pretty much, everyone would just say like she had a sixth toe, I guess. So she just had six
Why?
toes. But I think she had like bunions. That was like an
Oh.
on-running joke in the
So
class.
like from the Adam Sandler movie?
I guess. But that was like an on-running joke, and she obviously didn't like that.
Well, yeah. You
For
didn't
good
like when I
reason.
said that you had bunions.
Yeah.
But you kept on forgetting your bunion cream at my house.
But
You
I
really
think she
hated that
actually
joke.
did. And like you could just tell because like she'd come into like our classroom every day. She would wheel her little French coat in, just with the most defeated look on her face.
Because she knew she was
single
coming into the
day.
class that knew she had bunions.
And like
What's wrong, babe? They know about my bunions, Paul. The
Yeah,
group
it
chat
was just-
being mean to you again.
it was, it was just so much fun to just fool around. The one time, for some reason, we would always like, there was this one kid, and like we were all discussing like our favorite sports or something, right?
Yeah.
And like he said his favorite sport was like motocross, right? And for some
Yeah.
reason the class just found that hilarious. So they would always like tease him about motocross. And one time he was like, they were teasing him, and he put a water bottle on his desk, and he just whacked it, and it went flying, and water went everywhere, all over work. It was a sight to see.
You know, speaking of water going all over work, I was just about to tell a story about that. One time, well, it's not really a story, it's more like just a thing. One time in class, it was like the last year of school, and Brain just made me laugh so hard that that water came out of my nose. I spat some of it on my teacher's like desk, where all like the paperwork was, and like I even like ended up knocking it off her desk as well. So everything got screwed up. But
Oh,
oh,
the one
boy, I was gonna
time-
tell another.
The one time in
another
5th
thing.
grade, I made someone laugh so hard they threw up on a girl's shoes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. Just to show how
It-
stupid is, you know who I'm talking about. One time when we were in class, we were doing this thing where we were talking about like the base of a word. Like I'm trying to think of an example.
Unforgettable, would that be one? Because able is like the suffix, and then on would be
Well,
the...
I guess I was thinking
prefix,
more like
whatever,
things that
something
end
like
with
that.
N, like magician. Where does magician come from? Magic. One time the kid
Oh,
was,
yeah,
we were asked, where does the, because it was like a basic thing just to make sure you understood it. So they were like, what's the root of, I don't remember how it goes. The root, I guess, I'll just put it the root of, the root of, oh, shoot, wait, I can't think for some, oh, the root of musician. And, he responds, singer.
Yep, dead on.
And everyone in the class just erupts with laughter, obviously, because he's so stupid. Like, he is the most brain-dead guy I have ever heard. And then he'll sit in class and he'll be like, haha, Reddit chungus. And stuff like that. Like, seriously, just unironically he'll do that. I'm fine, because I do it ironically. Right, guys? Right, guys at home?
Please.
Please validate me. Yeah, see, we said validate, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did it. We're in sync. We've logged in. Death Grips is online.
Punch
Bing, ding, 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 ding.
get nailed on in the daytime.
Pog champ! Okay, let's stop. Let's
Punch
stop.
get champed all in the daytime.
Oh no. Break it
In your city.
No, that's not how it goes. Break it
is.
thing!
It is. He
Is
says
it? I
that
can't
he-
understand what he says in that song. Hard as the granite get.